Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with here. Also, just tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast, we're glad you all could join us as well. We've talked about on this program about the success of the show Rich and Shameless on TNT. We're excited to welcome Katinka Blackford Newman to our program today. She's the director of the upcoming episode that's coming up on June 13th called Girls Gone Wild Exposed. It looks not only at the legacy of Girls Gone Wild, but also the founder and creator, Joe Francis. Went and talked to Katinka not only about what it was like for her to be able to dig into the success of that series, but also the complications that come with it as well. Katinka, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on your show.
So this is a topic that I'm sure our audience, even depending on what age they are, I think most people have heard of Girls Gone Wild, Katinka. I want to talk about what it was like for you to be able to direct this episode, not only looking at the legacy of this show, but also, of course, the creator, Joe Francis.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, when I began the show, directing the program, it was commissioned as a 1 hour and ended up as being a much bigger story, and the episode that you'll be seeing is 90 minutes. To begin with, I thought I was making a film about a sleazy mega-millionaire pornographer, but it turned out to be a very much bigger story. So we uncovered a story of someone. Joe Francis is a violent abuser and a sexual predator. He's someone whose own parents have taken out a restraining order against him because he attacked them, and who has since been in jail for attacking his wife. So the theme of the film is really how he got away with it for many years, and one of the reasons is he was given credibility by the celebrities who were his friends for him and seemed to have turned a blind eye to his criminal activity. So yeah, I mean it was an amazing process because we just uncovered something so much bigger than what I thought the film was going to be about.
Yeah. TNT has a fascinating teaser for the episode, Katinka, that I watched when I was prepping for your segment. And I think the thing that surprises me, and I'm curious for you, of course, documenting this, what it was like for you, does it surprise you how so much of his behavior, so much of that show was about what we would look at today about exploitation and the way that we look at women? Does it surprise you that it had the popularity looking at it from today's lens?
Yeah, totally. I mean, of course, but there are a lot of surprising things, aren't there? When we look back to the early 2000s, we have changed as a society. So yes, it does surprise me. We live in a completely different. Obviously, the culture is completely different now, and you could never have Girls Gone Wild now. You could never have people flashing for the cameras and for people to think that that's okay. But actually, that's not really what the film is about. The film is about a much seedier, darker side that was happening that even at that time it wouldn't have been except about someone who's a violent abuser. The film begins with a chilling audio recording of him beating up his wife, the mother of his two children, and the film reveals a number of other instances where he has beaten up women. His own parents have taken out a restraining order against him, and he was highly manipulative and got girls to take part in seedy sex scenes for which they weren't complex legal documents. So even in terms of what was acceptable at that time, people would have been totally outraged and shocked if they knew what was really going on behind closed doors. So that's really the theme of the film.
Did you go into this, Katinka, knowing that there was more than we knew? Did you go in knowing that there was a deeper story that had not been really exposed?
I didn't really know that, no. I mean, I knew that I'd read some accounts of people, of women there was one woman who alleges in the documentary that she was raped by Joe Francis, but she hadn't really told her story fully. There were a lot of people who hadn't really they'd told us. There were accounts in the press, but they hadn't really told their story fully.
Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.